stopped working.
What the fuck?
All right, now it's coming back on. Doug, talk for me.
Hello,
Sorry,
hello.
guys.
We have some audio. This is the typical kind of lot, kind of living
All right,
difficulties.
thank you. I apologize, guys. I don't know what just happened. So when I put the intro into the video in OBS, I literally just turned off and disabled both of my audio tracks. So sorry about that. Thank you for tuning in to the Kind of Live, Kind of Living podcast. I'm Frank Cavone,
Now I'm Doug Quimby.
and this is kind of fucked. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about. Doug, do you want to start this one off?
Dude, yeah, for sure. I kind of I guess start off with what I've been doing this week. I recently ordered a camera and that came in. I get a Canon EOS Rebel SL3. Already took it out on one journey, took some pictures of the lake, tried to get the sunset, but realized that there are mountains in the way and sunrises are really where we're gonna shine up in Lake George. So definitely gonna have to go back out and take it on another whirl. But very excited about that.
That's awesome, man. I just want to say I'm excited that you finally have a camera, especially a Canon camera, and shooting a Canon. There's nothing like it. Uh, what have you liked most about the model camera? And tell everybody what you have.
It's an EOS Rebel SL3. And I've definitely like it's very simple to use and like it definitely is very like high quality camera. Here I can show you it. Bop, bop,
Nice.
bop, bop. And it definitely just reminds me of like a lot of the cameras that you've had that we've used before, but like um but like it just works really well. Like I've been really excited about the few photos that I've taken. I haven't really tried too hard yet. I'm excited. I'm gonna go out tomorrow, try to take some pictures of the village. We've been getting some nice weather, and it's every plant's starting to grow. It's starting to look real green out there. So I'm definitely really excited to like see what this thing can do. But so far it's been really good, and I'm like super pumped to have it.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, so you guys, no, that's awesome. You guys are going to be going out to check out some sunrises. I mean, it's the best place to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You know all the spots already. It's your hometown, and but that's awesome, man. I'm super hyped that you have a camera and just you know are able to create. That's
Mm.
that's great. What else has been going on?
Other than that, just work and basically getting a home base, just maintaining cleanliness. Like just trying to maintain like just everything. Also like trying to get the yard nice and worked up for the summer. Definitely gonna trying to have like some people over when the time is right. Kind of got a few ideas on like how to make it kind of really cool this year. So just been kind of working on that and just kind of keeping back and staying safe. What about you? What you been up to, man?
Man, it's been crazy actually. There's been a lot going on. Obviously, what are we like nine weeks into this now? We're
Something
pretty
like that.
deep. Uh, Definitely just been getting the itch to go out and shoot, and started the Not Much Else series, which is 2 episodes in. Um, I realized that, and Ramon pointed this out, that I tend to name a lot of things and categorize it. So I'm done doing that, and hoping that this series actually goes past 3 episodes, because I feel at that point then there's somewhat of a routine, and that's where it's like that's where I feel like it's hard to like where like board games with band members, like a huge part of why I feel like that didn't continue, which I still want to do it, is just it's you got to get more people involved. You got to make sure people's schedules work, the weather's right, you have a place to shoot, what are we playing? And
Yeah.
so with this, at least it's just me, and like I can just like go kind of capture what I do when I'm not doing mirth, not doing mirth stuff, but like if you're watching this when you're watching this today, we've already done it, but we're doing the Deadbeats Ninola live stream Saturday, May 16th, and the thing is, like I was thinking, okay, maybe capture some behind the scenes footage of how we get set up, or just some more, I guess, educational type things to explain to people or help people. Like last week, I did filmmaking with an iPhone, and yeah, I didn't probably go. I could have gone in way more in depth and just explain more about just like filmmaking, but I just really wanted to show people that you don't need, a fancy camera to go out and shoot. You need a concept, and that's all.
Yeah.
Like think about how many of our videos that Caleb Lewis, shout out Caleb, but just how many videos he put out that were just damn straight funny. And you know what? He didn't need a red cinema camera.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it would be even more epic, but like still, I mean, it's the authenticity of what he was doing that sold that video. So yeah, so we're gonna continue doing that. Just check it out on YouTube. It's gonna be on all of our platforms, just like everything else. Other than that, actually shot another video yesterday. A guitar video breakdown of Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction. So Nick, my cousin Nick, his friend John, is a nasty guitar player. You might have met him a couple times, John Carlo, psycho on guitar. Like I don't know how to, I mean, it's like, the kid has so much talent, but he doesn't know what to do with it. So it's like, from being a guitar player myself, it's like watching him play, it's like, dude, you could be literally playing to thousands of people, as at least as a fill-in for a band or something. And so we did a guitar video breakdown of him playing the solo of the song and talking about Megadeth's era at that time. So thinking about doing something weekly with that, and I don't know, maybe just it's some that would interest the guitar enthusiasts. There's this guy, this guitar teacher, Mike something on YouTube. He's pretty popular. He's been covering a lot of jam band stuff, a lot of metal too, a lot of everything. And I kind of got the inspiration from him, and because it's entertaining watching him listen and react to the song and play it live and not have a fucking clue about the song before. Like that's pretty insane. I don't know. I respect musicians like that to just pick up something and by ear. I don't know. It's really cool. You want to give a shout out to Ryan Murray. He had me on the Albany Events podcast. Got to talk a lot about the Kind of Live, Kind of Living podcast, Escape Plaza, just some of the things we're doing now, and even about his wrestling podcast. I'll put in. We'll figure out I'll figure out what the podcast is and try to maybe get the link out to you guys. Let's see. Been fishing a lot. I caught my first fish of the year, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What kind of fish?
I caught largemouth bass. It was a small fish, but it's still my first catch. Gotta break it in, and but Cam, his first cast in of the day, he caught like this fucking huge fish, like literally first cast in.
Oh my god!
Like everything natural. When hiking by myself, I went up to Thomas Mountain, which I do want to say, if you want to be cautious about everything and social distance correctly, this trail, Thomas Mountain, which is right off exit 24 on I-87, right in Bolton, is honestly not a busy trail. If you go at 9 in the morning, I was the only person up there. It was an easy hike in the sense of, you weren't going to get lost. You felt a little bit of a burn towards the end, and the view was phenomenal. Definitely recommend checking it out. If you are in the upstate New York area, if you're not, don't travel, please. Stay away from our town. No offense, it's just we want to keep it clean, and we have the queen of the American lakes. You got to keep that, got to keep our pride, man.
Oh yeah.
Been selling prints. I actually just launched a brand new shop on my website, fcavoneproductions.com, where you can buy 16 by 20 prints of just some of my aerials. Not a lot of concert photography, but just more of my other work. Um, Fort William Henry, shout out to them. I've been doing a lot of work with them, and they've been feeding my belly with delicious food, taking food photos with those guys. Happy to be working locally with an independent hotel, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
I've been pushing, I've been skating a lot lately,
Pushing
and
wood.
I was pushing, yeah, pushing wood hard down on my notepad, but just strictly on my longboard, just getting my leg strength, and just been literally like high knee, just pushing my ass off, and been going, yeah, just only in the village. That's the only place I skate is in the village. Try to
Yeah, when you
manual the whole hill, never do it. I almost can do. I could probably do like maybe a third and a half of manualing the whole bike trail from the bridge. But once I get to a certain point, I just like my leg is so like stuck in one
sore.
muscle position that I can't like because the thing is when you manual, all you gotta do is like the real trick is like anchoring it. Like keep just keep the balance in the middle still, obviously, but like don't focus on the whole keeping like the bottom end of your board, up, down.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work like that, and like it's all about center of balance with skateboarding. A lot of uh, sports like that. I mean, I'm sure like there's tricks that you have to do that are kind of the same way. I mean, I don't ever really remember you as a manual guy, but I mean, like
Not really.
you danced on the ledge a little bit.
Sometimes I dabbled in the ledge here and there, but I
There
never
were sick
really.
tricks though.
Oh, thank you.
Crooked
But I mean,
grind
like, well,
front one.
huh?
The crooked grind front one.
Oh,
Uh,
that was yeah. I don't know where that. I don't
that
know
was
how I pulled
fucking
that one
awesome.
out.
But yeah, what were you
uh,
saying, man?
but yeah, I mean, I definitely understand like the whole center balance thing because, like, I mean, even when you're doing like a trick down something, like you have to remain like basically like centered over the board, and you have to like land pretty like very balanced, or you're gonna slip out one way or like lean forward too much, and like definitely like even like with that hard flip or like even that fakey big flip that took me like 2.5 full days to like actually get in lane is just like all about really trying to make sure like everything is just completely centered and like you're over top of it all like but like that's the one thing I want to ask you is like, are you ever gonna like film another Frankie C skate part, maybe even like a manual part?
I honestly have been thinking about it.
Good.
I maybe it wouldn't be like I definitely wouldn't do like a self part again because standalone, I don't think it's gonna shine. You can only polish a turret so much, and this one might not be possible to polish.
We can make an awesome ledge manupad video.
I'm just gonna do, yeah, I don't know, probably yeah, something like that. I have been actually skating the manual pad down by the Lake George High School.
Oh,
I've been
sweet.
hitting that a little bit. But my main thing now is just like going as fast as hell, as fast as I can go.
Are you ever gonna bomb a yeah, no, was it Court Street, the old hell I lived on? Or is
Never.
that too much
I will
speed for
never.
you?
That's too much.
What
See,
about
the
Gage
speed
Hill?
I like getting is actually comparable to the two different winter sports that we filmed, Alpine and whatever, cross Nordic.
Nordic.
We always forget about that one. So
It's
I
right
guess I
there.
could I maybe I now realize why people get that joy is because uh, they're building that speed themselves, and that's where I like skating is because like when I like usually what my routine when I go skateboarding is I'll park uh on what's the road with the creek leading into beach shit
Westbrook.
Westbrook Road. I'll park Westbrook Road, Battlefield Parkside, skate up, skate along the sidewalk, go up the bike trail up to the bridge, swing it back down, go to the beach side, skate my ass off, make it cross the street again into the Fort William Henry parking lot, and just push as hard as I can because that concrete that they have poured on that ground for some reason just you roll really fast on. So
Yeah.
so like I just will just push, and then usually either usually then I'll go along along the lake and just walk up, hit the school, manual behind the school, come back up, and then just manual down the main street.
Mm.
Or try to, and then swing it back around and go back. Skate for like 15 minutes, just like aggressive skating, and then go home.
Basically a skate sprint.
I could probably get around the whole village, lap the whole village in probably like 15 minutes. No, I'm not saying like by a huge back street. I'm not saying all that,
Yeah.
but like So it's pushing wood, man. But going into next thing, news.
Dude, yeah. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and
knew you
2
were
are
gonna
coming
bring it up.
back this September.
Yes. So what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I'm like, it looks fun. My main thing is like I'm gonna have to get like a PlayStation controller because I cannot play it on Xbox controller for some reason. But like I grew up like playing Tony Hawk's on like a PlayStation controller, so it's like just with that control scheme, like I need that exact feel again.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's gonna be really cool. I'm really happy that they're like completely redoing, like making it like all like HD and kind of like I don't know if they're like, really revamping like all of like the missions and the goals, but like from what I've seen, like it looks really good.
Yeah, I think it should be a good success, and I mean, skate. And not only did the game bring skateboarding to a whole new level to people who never actually like cared about skateboarding before, but I mean I know it definitely gained a lot of skaters from releasing that game too.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that sucks about that is it's gonna be $60.
Oh.
Which is like, what the fuck? $60 for a game that came out in 1999? I know it's remastered, but I mean, even in the, I don't know. I feel like something like that, it's not, you're just, it's like, I don't know. Like Star Wars
but you
remastering each
start
fucking
getting,
movie. Like,
Pro Skater 1 and 2. Like it's not just like one game.
right. And I think the way they can, if they get it right, they're going to get it right by getting that feel back. And I think that's what I read, that they were trying to aim to get the feel back, and make sure that the like the timing of a trick and the engineering of how you actually did play Tony Hawk 1 was going to be replicated. Whereas like the remastered version really didn't do that. It kind of just updated the graphics. Because like I feel like that is really important, because like how a game plays. And
Yeah.
I know those games were probably a little clunkier than like Tony Hawk 3, 4, and up, but I mean I was listening to this podcast, Game Scoop podcast, and they were saying that pretty much every Tony Hawk's Pro Skater up until like Underground got like all 9s because they were like the best. And I mean, it. What was your did you play the first one before you played the
No, I mean I think I had Pro Skater 3, but I never really played through the story of it. I just kind of put in cheat codes and to get all the characters, and then just like played all the maps. But I mean so like Underground is when I started like playing like through like the actual like all the missions and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
So I didn't really play the Pro Skaters too much, but like I definitely got respect for that. Like it was just like all those goals was just like that wasn't like how I was vibing. Like all of the combos and all that, like that's not really how I wanted to play the game.
Yeah.
But like I always thought it was like really cool to be able to like even like watch the like footage of just like people be able to like do that, like going from like grind, like manual, like revert, like up a
Oh yeah.
and like grabbing like the C and combo. Like it's like I remember like because they had those like some of those missions, and like I think it was, I don't know if they had them in Underground, but I think they had them in like Underground 2. And like I would try them, but I was like it was just way too difficult for me, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
But like I'm happy they're bringing that back, because like those maps definitely were like I feel iconic,
Definitely school too. What else? What was the first? What's the name of the first map?
Didn't they have like a have
Warehouse.
birdhouse? Didn't they also have like the Carlsbad Gap or something? Or no, that was part of the school.
That was yeah, School 2, Venice Beach. What are some other classic ones? There was Chicago, Marcel's French. France. Not French. Yeah. Oh, what a good
Yeah, I don't
game.
remember
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't know. Good memories playing that. I mean, who doesn't like Tony Hawk? You know.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I definitely want to dip back into skateboarding later, but Stevie Wonder turned 70 years old. I think it was like yesterday or maybe a few days ago. So like that's
Oh
sweet.
wow.
Stevie Wonder's still kicking it. Iconic. And speaking of that, Will Smith had a verse on Joyner Lucas's Will song, and like he dropped bars. It was
Really?
fine. It
That's
was it
sick.
was um other than that, I don't really have too much more for news. I don't know if you have any news topics going on.
I got some. Okay, we're returning back to Mac Miller from a couple weeks ago. Kids has broken the Billboard Top 200,
Oh,
and
sweet.
it's a mixtape. So if that doesn't say enough, like some
And that's
motherfucking
also
kids.
like what, 10 years old almost.
Yeah, it's about I want to say yeah probably
Yeah, like
2011, 2010,
yeah,
2010.
around there. It's sweet. Good
Back
for
when you could get back when people would download albums from datpiff.com.
yes. You ever
So
used that Piff?
of course, that's how I got my first Mac Miller couple albums, and like, um, Josh was the one who turned me on to that. Turned me on to it. Then I found all these other like super cool like, at the time, you know, Lil Wayne was the big thing, and like listening back to some of his mixtapes like was awesome. And yeah, I don't use it anymore, but just because of Spotify. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a
Very sweet.
homegrown. It's kind of like Bandcamp, pretty much for the hip
Mm.
hop platform, which is great. You know. Um, yeah, I mean, other than that, I have Big Time Kitty next Saturday. That's gonna be a good one. The 23rd, I want to say. We're gonna be going up to Dalton's place and doing a live stream with them. Please stay tuned for that. Those guys have helped us out so much, and we fully back the Kitties and eat some mac and cheese today.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
other than that, Chuck Norris is COVID.
Really?
Yeah, that's my dad's favorite actor, and I saw it, and I was like, oh shit, like,
Oh, that's rough.
yeah, it's a rough one.
Hopefully we'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean he's Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he's a
I'm
tough
sure when he beats it, there's gonna be plenty of Chuck Norris jokes to go around. So,
guy.
but all seriousness, get
I
better,
forgot
Chuck.
about
That stinks. R.I.P. Jerry Stiller. Jerry Stiller, father of Ben Stiller, actor on King of Queens, Seinfeld, so many great movies. I'm sure. Longtime actor. I don't know at what age he died. I think it was he was like late 80s or early 90s, but he lived a long life, and I always thought he was funnier than Ben Stiller. Always. I never thought Ben Stiller was that funny, and I think that's what makes him funny. But you know, depends how you look at it. But like with him, like on Seinfeld, he was just funny because he was fight. He was like the old couple of the father of George Costanza, and him and his wife would just fight and bicker. And whereas on like King of Queens, he was that I don't give a hell type of grandfather or dad like that was living in their house and didn't give a shit what like whatever Kevin James actor's name in that show was about. I don't know, like screwing with him. It kind of reminded me of like my grandfather a little bit. And but yeah, rest in peace. And I mean that's really all I have for news. Oh yeah, I mean
Word.
to tie along with the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater topic, there was a video that the Barracks put out of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater alumni all skating at the barracks with Jack Black. It's
Oh, that's
real.
sweet.
Yeah, everybody from Korean camp, the whole cat, the whole like original one. It's cool.
Wow.
I like watched it silently on video last night on YouTube, just scrolling and didn't fully watch it, but it looked and it probably sounded really good. So definitely check that out. Yeah, that's what I got, man.
So I kind of want to like throw back to like old skateboarding days. Like I definitely grew up with like Half Pipe Thrill Skate Park, and like that definitely played like a huge role like in getting me involved in skateboarding. Like I remember like going there and like when Tom Watkins used to work there. Like I used to like go there and like he used to be just like hella chill, so like pay for like an hour or two and then stay for like till they close. Like that would always be like hella fun. I remember also like going to like a couple like of my first like skateboarding competitions there. Like I remember like seeing like Cam Oss like compete in one. I'm pretty sure he won like a skateboard.
Really?
And like that was like also like one of my first times seeing like Christian Mechanic like skateboarding in contests. I'm pretty sure Andy Kokoza was also in there. I think like Cam and Andy were like part of like the same class. Like I don't know. That was pretty cool. But like I know you grew up around like Shelter Skate Park, and I would like to hear about like some of the times like you've had at like Shelter Skate Park back in the day.
All right. So Shelter Skate Park. First time I ever went to the Shelter Skate Park was without a skateboard. I was definitely nervous to go. I was young.
Mm.
And so I went with my dad, and we like went and checked out the skate park, and like we're walking around like on the sides. Definitely felt like we were getting people's way, and I was like, oh wow, we gotta go. And but after that, finally went. Never dropped in before, nothing. And you went to the original Shelter, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the best, one of my favorite skate parks of all time was that layout. It was just so open and big. I don't know. There's just something about that place.
It was a really awesome skate park, but I was definitely very intimidated like my very first time going down there as well. Like, because I feel like there's a lot of like really good skaters that used to go to that park. So just like
Yeah.
you didn't want to get in like anybody's way, but also like this was like the coolest thing ever. Because yeah, I feel like there was nothing like that in this area.
No, seriously. And it was massive. Yeah,
Yeah, I
first
feel like
time
it also
going.
had like somewhat of like every obstacle you could like ever skate too. Like it had a great variety of like things to do.
Definitely. And like, whereas like going to having that as my first skate park experience, and then going to Half Pipe Thrills, it was like, this is so congested. These ramps suck. They're so fucking slippery. Um, my board is like pointing up because of the rail popping out on the quarter pipe that I
Yeah.
couldn't drop into. So what did it matter, anyways, right? I couldn't. To be honest, I couldn't skate anything there. I was not meant for it. And
Everything was really hard to skate there. Like
but
it definitely seemed like a quite an advanced park, and like also I definitely think they had like rollerbladers and like possibly like BMX in mind when
yeah,
like rating some of those obstacles.
definitely. And in that era of time, there was this kid, Sporter Neil, who was in the gnarliest uh, roller blader ever in the area. And there used to be these old clips on halfpipethrills.com that I never met this kid, and I would watch him. I would literally, this was back when like YouTube didn't exist and it was just Flash, and you would have to wait to fucking wait forever to watch like a 20-second clip just play very, crappy with frame rate drops. And there was this kid I saw, this Water Neal, who was like psycho rollerblader doing front flips, back flips over the spine, like shit like that. And
Yeah.
like, I was like, wow.
Like I feel
I
like
think
he
I
did
even
like
picked up rollerblading for like a week after like kind of seeing that. I did go to the Shelter once with rollerblades.
how was that?
It was, I mean, I knew it was not really the coolest, but I enjoyed it. It was back when actually Charlie Parsons and I went together.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like it was all right. I mean, but it wasn't. I don't know.
Did you like actually like were you good at rollerblading? Like I've tried rollerblading before and like I always go straight split. Like were you actually like could you get
Yeah, I mean, I also played hockey for 8 years, but like,
hmm.
so like having that feel was already natural to me. But I couldn't drop in. I was still at the
Oh,
same level of where I was. I just made it just as far. It's like, oh fuck. Really, what made me want to drop in was because I got to be straight up. I was like, I got to tip my hat off to Tim Mitchell because I would have never dropped in. I I like, when you're young, you have like this self competition with your friends, and like I definitely had one with Tim, and me and him were really close, and I he dropped it. He like grew a set that I didn't have, and I was like, that motherfucker, dude, like he did it, and like I was just like, oh wow, I'm the one left, the one person out of all of our friends that cannot drop in, and for
yeah,
that reason, I was like, all right, I'll just do it, and then I committed, but I didn't do it for myself, like
yeah.
I
You're
didn't do it for myself, and I feel like there's a lot of
that's
times in
yeah.
skateboarding where that like I like the times where I felt like you know
Like it pushed you and motivated you and then there was that like friendly competition like because
yeah,
I
it was
remember like
good. It was good. But at the
yeah
same time, I was like, wow, man, that really wasn't that hard. It's just like 2 feet off the ground. And there was just something about the feeling of my back wheels possibly going this way and not going that way. I don't know. Like,
like my biggest thing was like trying to get like the balance right like
how far into your skateboarding career did you drop in?
I mean it was definitely like a couple years like I definitely remember my first time dropping in was with Cam at Half Pipe Thrills and it was like on the ramp opposite of like the Vans like the
Oh, yeah,
bank
yeah, yeah.
off the Vans ramp so it was like the mellowest quarter pipe in Half Pipe Thrills um so like and like Cam was always better than me so like I wanted to like like try to like push my limits so like like yeah I'm cool I'm good so like he was I like I vividly remember him telling me to like lean back but like I don't think he did but like I like pushed down on that board and then leaned back and like my tailbone got so messed
Ugh.
up and like that terrified me of dropping in for like so long I'm actually still like low-key terrified of it like I mean I feel like yeah like it's and that's center balance
Yeah,
it's
seriously,
all
center
about
of
center
balance.
balance but like yeah that it took me like a while to kind of like get over the fear of like dropping in like it was scary and I feel like that's what kept me away from doing like lip tricks and like quarter pipe tricks
Yeah.
like I never tried to 50-50 like the coping or anything like that. Like I would always kick turn or like if I was trying to go roll back to fakie, I would like kind of like push more on like my front truck. So like when I hit the coping, like it would bounce me back instead of like going over it. Like I don't even it probably took me at least like 6 years to actually do like a rock and roll, rock to fakie. Like
Six.
I can't really even remember doing it before like doing it at the Saratoga skate park, like on that mini ramp. I can't really remember doing it before that. And
I
that was
remember
like
you just like literally like getting right up there and just either not getting enough speed or just like psyching it, like
yeah.
kick turn.
It's just, it
I
was
mean,
terrifying. I mean, I probably like got caught up like at one point at the half pipe thrills, like big coping. Like you really have to lift your like truck up and like so yeah, no, that would and like I feel like once I finally got it at like Saratoga skate park, like I would do like rock and rolls like a lot until like I finally got caught up again and then I just like stopped doing those altogether. It's
yeah,
like
it happens.
checking
That
now.
and with the skate park layout that we have, it really doesn't present an opportunity to like practice. Because
No,
like
unless you want
the
to go for the
taco, have you ever gone all the way around?
no. I
I've
mean, I've
never either.
like carved like halfway on it, but like I have not hit that. I haven't hit the coping.
I gotta
Wait,
say, I feel like I've tried way less in skateboarding since having the skate plaza. Like, I don't know why. I just, not to knock on our own park, but like, there's definitely things that need improvement, and
Oh yeah.
it's not going to happen anytime soon because of the pandemic, and rightfully so. The town could be the money could be used for a lot more in the town, and but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like the stairs are like I would never do stairs. Like I'm not a
What's the
skate.
biggest thing
I don't
saying?
skate like that anymore. I never did skate like that.
I know you did, but like I'd like to like I know you've like done 3 stairs before. Like I feel like you could do like I feel like you've done like a 4 or 5 stair before though.
I will say the best thing I've ever done in my life was probably 180 50 50 in a double king cubba at the Venice Park in California. That was hands. I literally came out of literally came out of there a better skateboarder. It was, I don't know, like double heel flips were like a thing of mine at the time. I remember
Yeah.
just like skating down, like Chris and I were just like skating down, following each other with the camera down Hollywood Boulevard, like just getting lines. I would never was skated like that before. Like it was always one stop shop
On point.
type tricks, and like so I was like, you know, I don't know, like doing a double heel flip over one of the stars was a pretty cool feeling. Yeah, the double king, Ficky 3 manual when that happened, that was cool. When I had Fakey 5.0 back front 180 outs, that was also that was in like the DC shoes, Chris Cole shoe era. I feel like those shoes made me a better skateboarder.
Those were like the best skate shoes like in the freaking world.
Ever.
I shredded those things and like they never not one hole. Like
They weren't even heavy. Like, and they were the comfiest.
dude, it felt like you were stepping on clouds.
Legit.
Like,
and that was a big thing when that happened. DC, Chris Cole going to DC.
Yeah.
That was right around
all
Street League time.
Oh yeah, that was yeah. I've been watching a lot of Street League actually.
Really, fill us in.
Like I mean, I've been like just like catching up on old ones, and they've definitely been like uploading like some of the older ones. Like I kind of like tuned into. I thought they started in 2011, but I actually watched some from like 2010 when like Nigel still had his huge dreads,
Wow.
and but like it was like really like fun to like watch those because like I feel like I kind of remember like when those like happening, like and like when all of these are really happening and just like keeping up with it, but like how everyone was pumped, like the whole crowd was just pumped for like everybody, like any skater to win, and like even like when Nigel won, like it was just like the craziest thing. It was just like awesome to like see like oh like back before like Nigel started winning like all of them when everyone was like still like rooting for him, because it was just like I feel like it was just really like there's just a huge hype around Street League because it was just like our own skateboarding competition, and it was just like super legit. Like it was on TV. I'm pretty sure it was on like ESPN at first.
Yeah,
Like,
ESPN. Yeah.
it was crazy, and like it was just like all like your favorite skaters just like competing in this one gnarly contest, and like it was kind of cool to like see how like their like format has changed and like kind of like perfected. And I feel like it was like 2014 or 2015 when they like went into like the system they have now. But like definitely like the way it was before, I feel like the skaters had to do like a lot more. Like they had to do like it was like the runs, and then they had to do like the impact section, and then like a control section. So it was like definitely like a lot more skating, but like it was just really cool to like see that. And like, but I definitely say like my favorite years were like 2015, where like Luan Oliveira like won. I think it was like 2 back to back. Like he won like Los Angeles and New Jersey, and it was just like
Wow.
it was just like you just get so hyped for him. Like it was just like the man.
Dude, that guy's a psycho.
Dude, he is, but it's like his skateboarding is just like the perfect. Like I was thinking the other day, like his skateboarding is like what every skater wants their skateboarding to look like. I feel like
Definitely.
it's like it's hard to like maybe like see that from like an outside perspective, but like if you're a skater like and you see his skating, it's just like that's like the most ideal way to look. Where like I feel like when Nigel's like he can do like every trick like like textbook style,
Definitely. There's
like,
yeah, right. Yeah.
style counts.
Style matters.
like, I will say though, like I am excited for like when the Olympics do come around. Like I'm really happy skateboarding's in that, and like I'm definitely rooting for Nigel Houston like bring home the gold for America because I think he can do that. Like
I think he can. Yeah.
he's like really like he's one of the best. It's like you can't hate on him for that, but like
He's gonna have
other
some
people
tough
are
competition though.
it's like he is
All
like
those Japanese dudes like are just psycho on the skateboard. It's
hmm
crazy. All out of like nowhere too. But hey,
yeah.
that's got to say something. Look how much our sport has expanded.
Oh, for sure. And now even like in Japan, dude, like they're really starting to like come out with some heavy hitting skateboarders. Like,
Hell yeah,
dude, skateboarding, man, it's lit.
definitely.
Dude, yeah. Were you ever like into like Street League? Did you ever really like dive into that
I
for
did.
yourself?
I mean, like I enjoyed watching when I went over your house and like because it was I didn't have the access to watch that and so good. Yeah, for that purpose, definitely. Like when I'm home, probably not. Like I definitely. I mean, if it unless it's like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I guess it all depends what pops up on my YouTube channel. That's usually what I'm watching. Is like when it comes to skateboarding specifically, it's that.
Mm.
But
Dude, did you ever watch like the old like X Games competitions?
I used to. I think I've seen like one at Love Park and like one at in like California maybe and like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of California that's actually a little too vague. But like yeah, I definitely I like that. Honestly, the all terrain style events in the X Games are my favorite
Those are
because I
really awesome.
hate watching vert. To be honest, I think it's boring. And Mega, it's like to me, it's hard for me to watch it now because I don't know any of the guys. It's kind of like watch not like staying out of the loop with it. Pretty much anything, you know. Like you like, but the skateboarding specifically, the era to me that I loved the most was like the 2000s, like 2000 to 2010. Like 90s, I was too young. 80s is not as accessible. You know, and then I think what really killed it for me was this whole fucking, you know, non full skate video trend. Like, that's hard, man. I don't know. To me, it's hard for me to adjust. Like, okay, you know, maybe not so much. Like watching a part like Clive Dixon's part that came out on fucking Thrasher.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Standalone. If you're that good, go for it. Like that's why like P Rod's Me, Myself, and I was such a big deal. No one
Mm.
was really. He was probably one of the first people to release something. Him, Tori Pubwell, released that video on the DVD, on
Yeah.
DVD in the Thrasher magazine.
Bang or
Like,
something like that.
what was it?
I think it was like Big Bang or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Something
Big
along
Bang,
the lines of that.
and it was great.
That was sweet.
Um, but
And like
and
Nigel Houston, I feel like he's come out with like the Till Death part, or I feel like like
Fade to Black.
Nigel Houston's like last four parts were all just standalone. Like I don't know if he's been in a video since like the Elementality way back in the day.
No, legit. Yeah, and like Rise and Shine, that was his like comeback
Yeah,
part for
come back.
Element.
That was sweet.
That was like the back 270 nose blunt era. Like,
Mhm.
you know, and but I don't know, like, and skateboarding isn't a team sport, so having some like individuality is kind of really cool. But at the same time, what made Baker Baker, what made Girl Girl was the fun that they were
Ooh,
having in the video along with everything. You know, the whole invisible board or skating with the board on fire like hot chocolate or, you know, Antoine Dixon high as balls, like and like getting messed with by one of the other team members. Like you're not gonna get that from watching, you know. That's where I think ego does kind of fuck with some people. I mean, that personally to me, I think Nija is an egomaniac. I think he's great. I think he's earned every dollar he's worked. He's built something on his own and he made a name for himself. But you always got to me. It's like you always got to think about what you're who you're interacting with and maybe what you're feeling that day. You know, it doesn't matter to this person because that person could idolize you, you know, and
yeah.
so you just that's where like being, making sure you're being humble, like, and being a fucking good fucking human being, I think is really important. I think a majority of skateboarding is that, for
Oh,
sure,
for sure.
like for sure. But I mean, I'm sure at the
I
same
feel like
time,
that probably somewhat contributes to like why like after a while, because I feel like the biggest thing with Nigel, I feel like the only reason why he has gotten like so much hate from the skate community is because since he's won so many like street league, like it was like, okay, well, we want like this is like a community thing. I feel like we wanted like other people to be able to like experience that, and like because I feel like street league was like a great way for a pro skater to make like some real money. Because I mean, I feel like it's definitely becoming like a really big thing, but like it's like I feel like there's some skaters who are just still just like barely making it by. So it was like street league was like a great way for like like some skaters to really make a name for himself. But like it was like hard to see like after a while, it's like, yeah, like awesome, like great, like Nigel, you're like obviously the one of the best out there, but like I feel like trying to like but that made it so when somebody else won, like Luan Albert, like it was just like
holy
that much
shit,
more awesome. Like you're like you can't like the feelings just like like
it's not
when
the
any
Nyjah show anymore. Yeah,
yeah, like Shane O'Neill, like he won a couple times, like Chris Cole, like it's like it really made each one of those victories like more special. But I feel like that was probably like I feel like the skate community wanted more people to win and like
right.
like be about that. But like in the competition, like
It's
at
not
the end
your
of the day,
fault. You're
it was
fucking
all
awesome.
about the skateboarding, like
Yeah,
and it was who could do the best right then and there, and like not just bred for not bred for it, but like he definitely thrives under the pressure, and like and that's very apparent. But like
yeah.
but I feel like that's also pushed skateboarding even more, because I mean like now it's like if everyone's trying to keep up with Nigel, and he's like he has to keep improving on himself, so like nobody really like laps him. Like that's just going to push the sport farther and farther and farther, like
Definitely.
you want to be gnarlier than Nigel,
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, it definitely does propel the fucking the sport for sure. So you want to jump into what we've been watching and listening?
Dude, for sure, for sure.
You go
Would you like to go
first.
first? You want me to?
Let's hear it, man.
Dude, so Avatar is on Netflix. Avatar: The Last Airbender, not
Nice.
Avatar: The Blue People. So definitely check that out. I've been watching that once over again because like Avatar is awesome. Also been watching Password Plus, which is like a game show from like the 70s, 80s. On Amazon Prime, they have all these classic game shows, and
Oh wow.
they're quite entertaining, more entertaining than you'd think. It's definitely just like watching it, like because it was just like it's like just back in like the 70s and 80s, just like how they were like react to each other, and like just like with like the games they were playing, just like trying to like play and guess. But it's like I was thinking about like what was relevant back then. It was just like really fun, entertaining. Like I definitely am starting to get lost into that. Other than that, I've been listening to a lot of Time Suck with Dan Cummins, that podcast. Joe Rogan Experience. I know he had like Elon Musk on recently, and Dr. Rhonda Patrick.
Okay.
He had on yesterday or the day before. That was a really good one. Other than that, I've been kind of gaming out on Far Cry New Dawn and Beach Buggy Racer, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. What about listening?
Mainly, yeah, like Time Suck with Dan Cummins and
Okay.
Joe Rogan Experience. I haven't listened to too much music lately. I mean, I'll dip into some Mac Miller here and there. There's
Yeah.
one song, Interior Crocodile Alligator, that just brings me a whole bunch of joy. So I've been jamming that here and there. Other than that, yeah,
Nice.
not too much.
Cool, man.
Yeah, man. What about you?
So before I go into what I've been watching and listening to, I do want to just give a shout out to Custom V Rocker, Mac Delmedia, and Dylan McKenzie. They never forget. And yeah, I didn't bring this up on last time. Dylan saved a bird's life.
Oh,
Did you see
yeah.
that? Dylan not only he saved a bird. Dylan's been crushing it. I mean, I just gotta say he's been shooting a lot of photos. That I love the photo of the Empire State Plaza that you took, and you didn't have to crop it in for the smartphone users. Keep it real. But he says, "R.I.P. Little Richard, R.I.P. Hard rock and roll, man." 24-second latency. It's good.
Sweet.
Custom V Rocker's best skateboarding experience was in Los Angeles, and uses a longboard. He used a longboard in college that could reach up to 25 miles an hour on flat. Wow.
That's booking it.
Yeah. Talk about keeping it green. You know, who needs a car when you're going that fast?
Yeah, I'd be so worried about speed wobbles at that speed.
Yeah, seriously. But Dylan, definitely want to get you involved with what we're doing. You have a wealth of knowledge, and once we can figure out how to get all closer, we can do something. It's just so, I mean, it's like trying to come up with something to do something and commit, and then all, you know, I don't know. That's, I gotta say, with running Mirth Films, it's like, it's not easy. Like, because somebody could say, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, what the fuck should you be doing, like, in all reality, you know? We could be spending more time on the merch site, we could be spending more time developing content, articles, you know, there's so many. That's the problem, like, not a problem, but it's a good problem to have, is that we have a lot of avenues we can go down, and it's just kind of, I don't know, something I've been doing a lot to work on for myself is definitely developing more of a routine when I'm waking up, when I'm going to bed. I've been getting more sleep, and but, you know, keeping myself motivated and not burning myself out to cross off all the things I want to at the level I want to. And I don't know. Once we can get the team back together, once we can get everything rolling, I am. It's been crushing me to see nothing happen on our website. So maybe you'll see some articles. I definitely got to jumpstart that a little more. But you know, taking it day by day. It's gonna be a busy. There's gonna be like 4 videos out on Mirth Films this week, which is fucking awesome. And that's what it's all about, is making videos, man.
For sure.
So, what I've been watching, I'll tell you what I've been watching. I've been watching the show Hollywood. I probably brought this up last time. If you haven't seen it, dog, gotta go check it out. It is phenomenal. It is about Hollywood in the 50s and some of the things that would happen. But I mean, for all like serious topics that were happening around that time, race, religion, sex, orientation, all that shit. It's all in it, and it doesn't just show good blights. It shows, like, okay, if you were gay in the 50s, this was what it would be like.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that, like, or like, you know, or how hard or how fucked up it was for a woman to get into the film industry, especially being African American or whatever, or Asian, or it's a great fucking show, and I really hope it wins some awards, because they really put a lot of time into making that. Camera Conspiracies. I love this guy. He's my one of my favorite YouTubers ever. He just straight up derails other YouTubers in the sense of like what's in my like a lot of like YouTube bloggers will make like, what's in my camera bag, the best lens to shoot with, this, that, you know, like, and like, so like it's just funny because like there's like YouTubers and like in the camera industry like build up a lot of bullshit hype about camera products and like make you feel like you need this piece of gear to get what you're doing done, and you don't. And this guy pretty much just shits on doesn't shit on everybody, but pokes fun at like the things that should be poked fun about, and like what's in my camera bag. He'll just like, who the fuck cares what's in your camera bag? You know, like but he's I don't know. Check him out. The guy is a goofball. He's on the hunt to find the perfect camera, and that's what it's all about. Because there is none, but he just plays into the bullshit and just makes picks on him. It's great. And it's not like negative towards other people. It's just like, wow. Or like how YouTubers like will have like certain vlog styles, like where they're like talking in one specific area like this right now, and then they go and start talking in another room, and then go talking in another room. So like he'll just like, he like made this one video where he's like really like poking fun at it by like talking in his bedroom, and then like ends up like in the bathroom, like shower, just like not like showering, but just like in the bathroom shower, just like
Yeah.
here I am, bathroom shower, like stupid shit. Like, yeah, that's tacky. Kim's Convenience that came out on Netflix. Wow, what a good show! It's kind of like a sitcom. It's basically this Asian family's uh, they own this convenience store. The main guy, his name is Kim. He has a daughter. It's like any other kind of not sitcom, but it's kind of along those type of lines. It's funny. It's a really good show too on homegrown on Netflix. I ended up getting Netflix after going to Ramon's all these times just because Hulu doesn't really have much right now, and that at least I want to watch, and so yeah, just been watching that. Criminal Minds, I started that last night.
My
Just
dad would approve.
yeah, I had a friend over that likes crime shows, so we were watching that. Um, and I finished Star Wars The Clone Wars, awesome animated series that fills the hunger needs of any Star Wars fan. And it's based on the first three episodes, not 4, 5, 6, the 1, 2, 3, Anakin era. I know. But then they have another show to follow up called Rebels, which is based upon the era of 4, 5, and 6. And it's pretty cool. And it involves characters from the actual movie, and it all ties in. What I've been listening to, this one, dog, you definitely got to check out. Phil Lesh and Friends with Trey at the Warfield 1999. Burning Shore Prophet 22, shout out for bringing out all the archival Grateful Dead and Fish shows. But this show specifically was awesome because there's Trey and Paige sitting in on Phil Lesh and Friends with Phil Lesh, Steve Kimmock, he's a nasty guitar player. And I don't know the drummer, but the drummer was straight killing it. And they did a couple Fish covers, but the main real jams from that, Unbroken Chain, Grateful Dead song, Mounds of the Moon, Saint Stephen, Scarlet Fire. I mean, just hearing Trey play in his peak time with Phil in that era, fuck yeah, that was awesome. Nine Club, Stop and Chat, Frank Gerber, so funny. I gotta say, Frank Gerber, Louis Barletta, and Jason Dill. These guys, I don't know what. I mean, there must be a point of why they're doing this. And they're kind of doing the same thing. We're kind of doing the same thing they're doing by not calling our podcast what we call it.
Yeah.
And they pick the funniest guys. Frank Gerber is dude. You will just go for a walk and just listen to it. The Stop and Chat with Frank Gerber. I
don't know if I'll check it out.
All of them. Same with Louis Barletta and Jason Dill. They're all equally fucking hilarious. They're better than they're almost better than the regular episodes because I don't know. They're like comedian skateboarders, but they're just crazy individuals. Stone Cold's podcast is another thing I've been listening to.
Podcast?
He does. There's this one YouTube channel. It's called the Steve Austin Podcast. I don't know if it's on Spotify or iTunes, but because I've been watching a lot of wrestling, I have been listening to that podcast through the YouTube channel of Wrestling Ramble 69 or something like that. But it's just like clips, just like JRE clips. But it's just fucking awesome listening to him talk to like Shane McMahon or like talk to like Vince about some stuff that back in the day. I don't know. Steve Austin, I will say, he's a great listener. He doesn't interrupt people when they talk. I've really admired that about him. And I think that something that is hard to do when you're podcasting is not conversate like you normally do. You wait to talk. That's what you do. He does it really well. He's just a great. I just because of how fucking badass Stone Cold fucking Steve Austin is. That's what makes that podcast awesome because he's the toughest SOB. And I don't know. He seems so aggressive, but he's the friendliest guy on this podcast. And he asks important questions too about the current state of the wrestling industry, shit like that. So, yeah, But that's it, man. I do want to plug something though. Mirth-films.com. Head to our merch page. Go get that merch. I just bought the fucking finally bought the fleece, and it's too warm. It's gonna be too warm to wear. At least at night, that'll be something to wear. But definitely want to. I like the only. I really don't care that I'm publicly saying this because, whatever. But like, it's I kind of am refraining from buying a T-shirt from our site because I do want to get a box of shirts soon, and I think it's something that like in our Etsy store back up and going would be pretty cool. And but that being said, like we do receive a profit from selling our clothing through a third party outlet. It does help us. So, if you are just buying a shirt, buy a shirt. And the frame shirts that are out right now on the site are really, really cool looking. And I don't know, maybe I know we have some thoughts about putting some other things on there, but maybe we'll talk. We'll figure it out, and we'll let you guys know next time. But just don't let this COVID shit get you down. You don't need to leave if you don't feel safe leaving your house and you want to create. You don't need to. There's art is in there's many different forms of it, and maybe you end up developing a new style or thinking about something a different way from working inside. I don't know. But it's hard when not being able to scratch that creative itch, Let this fuel you to motivate you because, and I just want to shout out MK Devo because he did. I usually don't read any, I honestly, I don't like Facebook for some purposes, like people ranting. But Devo brought up a good point. Don't wait for this to be over to start what you're doing, or don't just say I can't wait for things to get back to normal, because no one knows what normal is going to be. And think about how much time we've already spent in social distancing, and if this continues, there's a second wave. You want to at least give yourself a couple options just in case the path that you want to go down didn't go the way you wanted it to, because I'm blacked out, but you can hear me. My fucking Sony A7 III sensor. God fucking damn it. But don't wait to create. Just fucking do it.
For sure. That's definitely proper words. But I guess we should end it there.
Yes.
Everybody have a wonderful day or wonderful night. And stay positive out there and stay safe.
Stay safe. I'm Frankie Cavone.
I'm Doug Quimby.
This has been Kinda Live.
Kinda Living. Have a wonderful night, everybody.